Hey Exile, Pure Academy here. If you want to power level any character to level 100, you've come to the right place. If you have some currency to spend, think about doing Chayula rotations. They are more XP than beachhead rotations, but their entry cost is also a little bit higher. So, if you can spend half a divine at current prices, continue with this video, or otherwise check out the beachhead rota video for a more economic approach. Rotations are great because they yield a lot more XP than casual mapping, and they tend to be much more safe too, because usually you always run the same layout with the same mods. Normal mapping yields roughly 200,000 to 300,000 XP per hour in mid-80s, and rotations, in particular Chayula rotations, can yield more than 1 million XP per hour in mid-80s. All you have to do is to team up with 5 other exiles. Now everyone brings his own Pure Chayula Breachstone to the table, and you want to make sure that at least one person can carry everyone else. It is common practice that the party leader opens up all the Breachstones for the party, so you don't have to go to every single party member's hideout. You can imagine that this opens up the field for scams, so let's talk about how you can join a rotation and how you can make sure that the host is trustworthy. I use Global Chat 820 to join rotations for the most part, but you can also look for a group on TFT Discord. If you want to use the global chat, type /global space 820 into chat and activate global chat if you haven't already. Now either join another group or search for people on your own if you want to host yourself. When searching for a group, make sure that the server fits you. Then you want to check the credibility of the potential host. I personally use all of these methods. Check the level of the potential host. If he's 98 or above, I never had a bad experience so far, but this is the least secure method. Second, after spending some time in the chat, you will start acknowledging some exiles that do rotations regularly. Third, you can also check the rank of the service provider on TFT Discord, or fourth, add people from past rotations that host them often. They often search for mates in their status. Fifth, if you see any party members with low level, below level 70 or so, or if they have similar names, I would also immediately go out of the group. I know that this doesn't guarantee protection against scams, but with this in mind, I only got scammed twice in my time of playing PoE. If you have anything to add to this, feel free to use the comment section. Now that you've done your due diligence and think that the host is trustworthy, you want to ask him for an invitation. If you see that the party is complete, that means 6 party members, you want to go to the host's hideout. A good host will now trade every single group member and put the name of the exile into the chat after he received his or her Breachstone. This creates transparency and is also very useful if some people disconnect and rejoin the group later. After all Breachstones have arrived at the host, he will open up the first one, usually typing the count into the chat, something like number 1 or 1 out of 6. Then everyone uses one portal and waits for the host to start the run. And at this point, you simply enjoy massive amounts of XP. On a side note, most groups usually skip the final boss, except there is an Uber carry in the group. After running all 6 Breachstones, you either part ways or decide to stick around for another rotation. This is also the time where you can add the host if you think that he's doing these runs regularly. I also wanted to talk about the best ways to fund these rotations. There are 2 obvious aspects for this: currency spent and currency gained. You have 2 options for the expenditure side of things. First, you can simply buy them from trade, which is quite expensive, or second, you can upgrade regular Breachstones with the Syndicate. This would save you 90C or 83% of the price of a Pure Chayula Breachstone with current prices. There's nothing much else you can do here, so let's talk about money making. From my experience, you can't expect any special drops from the runs, especially if you don't kill Chayula in the end, so you must take advantage of something else you get. And what's that? Well, you get a lot of experience, right? So how can you turn experience into currency? By leveling gems. It's as simple as that. And since this is true for anything in the game that grants a lot of experience, I've created a gem leveling helper tool that shows you what the most profitable gems are to level at the moment. The data in the tool is updated every day with PoE Ninja prices, so you can safely use it way after the release of this video. The link to the tool is in the top comment of this video, and if you want to get an in-depth walkthrough of it, follow the link in the card. Enjoy easy levels, happy hunting Exile, and see you in the next one!